topic of this video is building and organizing resources for your STEM classroom. Materials for STEM activities can include expensive technology, cheap craft supplies, household items, or even free repurposed materials. If your building or district has provided you with technologies or other STEM resources, most likely they have also provided you with a preferred method for storing these items. If not, think about the best way you can store them effectively and safely so that students have access, and so that any device that needs to be charged is close to power. As you plan for your year and the different ways you will integrate STEM activities, also brainstorm materials you will need to make these activities successful and engaging. You may use simple materials such as paper towel rolls, kitchen sponges, and empty cereal boxes. You also may want to have materials that can be used for multiple activities, such as Legos, Play-Doh, general tools, or other reusable items. Some of these items you may already have, and some you may need to acquire. The first step is to create a list of materials that you already have on hand in your classroom. The second step is to create a list of materials that you need in order to implement successful STEM activities in your classroom. Next, create a list of nice-to-have items. These would enhance your activities but are not required for implementation. These lists will likely need to be revisited on a quarterly basis as you plan for upcoming units and projects. Then, make a plan to acquire the materials on your needs and wants list. Your surrounding community is a great place to start. Letters to local businesses from teachers are often responded to positively. These businesses love to support schools and teachers. They also often have materials that they are willing to donate. Offer to create a Classroom Partners section of your classroom website where you recognize local businesses who make donations. If your school has a PTO, or your district has an educational foundation that supports teachers through requests for classroom grants, STEM materials are a great ask. Parents are also terrific resources. Most often, elementary and middle school teachers will provide a list of items they would appreciate being donated for their classroom. But parents of high school students are willing to make donations as well, especially when they see real-world application. At any grade level, don't be afraid to send a message home letting parents know what activities are on the horizon and what materials will be useful for those projects. Think outside the box. One teacher shared her approach to gaining additional technology in her classroom. She asked parents to donate old devices such as phones and tablets with all settings and accounts erased. By doing this, she set up a technology station in her classroom that provided additional devices for her students to use. And while she had access to Chromebooks through her school, different activities could be done with phones and tablets. So never be afraid to ask. Your parents, your foundation, your PTO, and your community will help when they can. Be specific in your requests in order to receive the most appropriate items. Once you have the materials in your classroom, you'll need to think about ways to organize them. Items that are not needed regularly can be stored in locations where students don't need access. Materials that are used more regularly can be located in a spot where students can easily access them when needed. Using storage bins that are clearly labeled are a big help for both you and your students. Think creatively when you're setting up storage. For example, hanging shoe racks with pockets are great for classrooms and can be used to store a variety of items. Hampers, plastic bins, and shoe boxes are all great storage vessels. You can often find great deals at dollar stores, yard sales, and other discount stores. You can certainly purchase more expensive carts and organizers, but often a low-cost alternative will work just fine. So through this video, we have provided ideas for acquiring and storing materials for STEM activities in your classroom. Now it's time to think about what you have, what you need, and what you'd like for your classroom to create and facilitate engaging opportunities for your students.